we're going to continue this Twins playoffs. As you can see by the title, we are almost into the month of May, which I'm very happy about. We just got done with the 4-game series against the Yankees, where we lost the first 2, and then we won the second 2. So yeah, and then we got, it says Jose Barrios on the mound. If he's actually going to pitch, I don't know, because this game does a bunch of whole different shit. So yeah, I think that we are gonna actually roll with Jose Barrios, to be honest, just a little let the rotation get back in normal. And he actually still does have a good amount of injury. Health left. So it says Jorge Polanco cannot really. Jorge Polanco needs a break essentially. So what we are gonna do, Brian Dozier can play shortstop this game. Brandon Phillips is gonna slide in here. Catcher Gary Sanchez needs a break. Luckily this team isn't the best team, I should say, for the Reds, so we should be able to get some offense going on this break. So what we actually are going to do now, we're just gonna we're gonna rest everyone. We're gonna rest Logan Morrison. What can he play? He can play first base in the outfield. Musakis can play third base, so we actually are going to do then. So we're going to rest Eddie Rosario to give him even more of a rest. And then we'll start Logan Morrison. Alright, so now just redoing what our lineup is going to look like. Lead off. My apologies. And it's actually Lance Lynn. It says starting. I don't know how much energy Lance Lynn has, so we'll just still start him anyway. So then we got Ryan Lemare here. Alright, lead off. I want Brandon Phillips leading off here. And then we will go who can bat second? Dozier can still bat second, and then we can go Logmo. No, we'll go Mustakis, then Logmo, then Sano, then Garver, Kepler, Oswaldo Arcia. Yep. Alright. So it says that Lance Lynn is starting for us today, which he is, which I'm fine with. I don't know how much energy he has. It's gonna be the same thing as like Jose Barrios. But three games ahead of Kansas City. But this the rotation somehow got like messed up for the Twins. But hopefully it'll get fixed soon. So yeah, Lance Lynn is starting. I have no idea how much energy he has. 4.44 ERA, 2-2 record for Lance Lynn. He doesn't have tons of energy, but he should be able to get through 4 innings, which is all I really need him to. So it'll be grounded to Brian Phillips there for the first out, as Billy Hamilton cannot beat it out. So there is something I do want to do. I am going to warm up Kyle Gibson just in case Lynn can't go that deep. It's going to be the same thing as Barrios. If the one where Barrios started the next day, and then he gave the Twins 4 innings, if Lynn can do that for the Twins, I think the manager would be very happy. Now up is Joey Votto, batting 6 home runs, 21 RBIs so far in the year. The Twins, obviously, are resting basically everyone. The first game of this series here, as then now the 2-1 count from Lynn to Votto. As Votto will be safe with the base hit, so Lynn gives up his first hit of the game, obviously 2 outs already. As then now coming up at the plate is Jose Pereira, right? Oh no, Eugenio Suarez, right? Yep, Eugenio Suarez, who is batting 5 home runs along with 15 RBIs. Now the 2-2 count from Suarez, as he will swing and miss on the 4-seam, and Lance Lynn gets his first strikeout of the game, allows 1 hit, but a quick inning for Lance Lynn. So now bring up Anthony DeSclafani, 5 starts, only has a 1-0 record with a 4.78 ERA, 26.1 innings, 33 hits, 18 strikeouts, 7 walks, I should say. As Brandon Phillips is up with the 1 home run and 1 RBI, batting .250 on the year. He is just the backup second base, and now the 1-2 count as Phillips will swing and miss there completely for the first out. The inning is now up is Brian Dozier, batting 8 home runs and 18 RBIs. He is the starting shortstop today for Minnesota, as the 0-2 count to Dozier the slider's taken for a ball there to make it 1-2. In order for the Twins to be successful today, they have to be able to work Deshafolani, get him out of the game as soon as possible, and force the Reds to put in their pen. The only good relief pitcher on the pen is Raciel Iglesias, and he's the closer, so he's not going to be put in the 5th or 6th inning. So if they can get in a guy like Amir Garrett or whatever, that's what they need, as Brian Dozier swings and misses. As that will now bring up Mike Moustakas, batting 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. Just to take a look, if they can get a guy like Homer Bailey or Amir Garrett or Wendy Peralta, the Twins are going to be successful. And Deshafolani is an okay pitcher, but they should be able to get some runs, even though they are playing most of their backups, as Moustakas takes the fastball there for a strike. Moustakas is making his home debut here with Minnesota as the pitch. Now as Moustakas will get under this one and will pop this one up, as that will be the third baseman in Eugenio Suarez, I do believe. Yeah, I think he's their third baseman, right? Yep. So 1-2-3 inning for Deshafolani is now comes up is Scooter Jeanette for Cincinnati, as Lynn with the pitch. Jeanette will foul off the 2-seam there to make this a 1-2 count. Lance Lynn, I believe, is only on 2 days rest, but like I said, this rotation for the Twins is all messed up. As now Lynn working the 1-2 count, and the pitch is hit, and it will be picked up by Logmo, who's playing left field today. Logan Morrison for a base hit is Scooter Jeanette, as Scott Schiebler checks in, 1 home run, 11 RBIs for Schiebler, or Schebler, however you pronounce it. The 4-seam will go for a ball there by Lance Lynn to make this count 2-1. As the pitch there by Lance will be hit to the center fielder in Ryan Lamere, who gets underneath it for the first out of the inning. They'll now bring up Adam Duvall, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs so far for Adam, as Lynn now pitching the fastball. The 4-seam is fouled off to make this a 1-2 count. Now Lynn now brings the heat, and he gets the 2-seam in there for a strike for his second strikeout of the game through 1.2. As then now Jesse Winker's up with no home runs, no RBIs. So we take a look at the full count to Winker, and Lynn will walk Adam Winker. So man's now on first and second with Tucker Barnhart. Now the 0-2 count from Winker to Barnhart. That one is fouled off. Now the 0-2 count once again to Barnhart. The fastball will go for a ball there to make this count 1-2. And then now with the fastball, this will be hit, potentially getting, yes, it gets down for a base hit. The throw home is safe as the Cincinnati Reds take a 1-0 lead. With runners on third and second, Lance Lynn still remaining in the game with the 1-1 count. He is getting a little bit tired, so this most likely will be his last inning. This will be hit to the shortstop and Brian Dozier, who makes the play for the final out. So we head to the bottom of the second now, with the Twins down 1-0 to the Cincinnati Reds. Obviously, the Twins are resting a lot of their starters. I will now bring up Logan Morrison, who does have 3 home runs and 3 RBIs on the year, all solo shots. Has been his home runs, as it is a 1-2 count now from Deshafolani to Logan Morrison, as Morrison will ground this one to the second base. It's going to be a tough play. He makes it, as Morrison does not have a lot of speed, as that'll be the first out. They'll now bring up power hitting third baseman Miguel Sano. Only 6 home runs though on the year so far. Was off to a hot start, but like basically everyone on this Twins team, like Dozier and Sano, they have both cooled down. As now it is just a 2-2 count, as Deshafolani will pitch the slider, and good eye there by Sano to hold off on it, as Mitch Garver is currently on deck. As Sano now with the hit, Sano, that's actually caught by the right fielder there. Who is the right fielder? Who is the right fielder? Scott Schebler makes the catch. So I'll now bring up Mitch Garver with no home runs, 1 RBIs. He was the starting catcher for about a week. And obviously, they did trade for Wilson Ramos, who they then moved for Mike Moustakas. And then they went out and acquired Gary Sanchez the same day as they acquired Mike Moustakas, the Twins. So now the 1-2 count as the 4-seam fastball goes high for a ball. Now the 2-2 count from the Shafalani to Mitch Garver as the slider will go for a ball there to make this count 3-2 with Max Kepler on deck, 2 outs, no one on. No hits yet for Minnesota as well, as Garver will foul off the 4-seam there. Was a little bit late on it and got a little bit underneath it, so foul tip back for a foul ball. As then now the 3-2 count as Garver will get underneath this one as it will be caught by the second baseman in Scooter Gennett, as that will be the final out. As we will head top 3 now, Jose Peraza now up leading off the 3rd inning. The full count from Lance Lynn to Becerra as he will get this one down for a base hit. Morrison will field it and will toss it in. So it looks like that'll be the end to Lance Lynn's day with Joey Votto coming up. Getting put in the game now is Kyle Gibson. In 6 games, he has a 1-1 record with a 5.59 ERA with 16 strikeouts. So Kyle Gibson getting put in here yet again as Gibson now with the pitch. This one will be fouled into basically the security deck sort of, as the 2-seam pass will go for a ball there to make this count 2-2. Gibson now brings the heat and the 4-seam. He gets Joey Votto to swing and miss. So the first batter he faces, he gets the strikeouts. That will now bring up Eugenio Suarez. Here now the 1-2 count to Suarez. The changeup is swung on and missed by Suarez. That will be the second strikeout for Gibson on his second batter. Now in is Scooter Gennett with working 1-1 counts. He will foul off the 2-seam there to make this 1-2. As the pitch here from Gibson, it will be hit, and getting over in time is Max Kepler for the 3rd out. So Gibson comes in and puts down all 3 that he faced. However, the Reds did get one on. Obviously, that one was from Lance Lynn. So now up is Max Kepler, bottom 3, full count to Kepler. Leading off here, bottom 3, as Kepler will get underneath this one. This will be a pop-up, and Eugenio Suarez calls off the Shafalani for the first out of the inning, as that will bring up power hitting DH, or power hitting outfield, but he is in the DH role. Oswaldo Arcia batting 276, along with the 9 home runs, 17 RBIs. That is good for 2nd in the American League for Arcia, as he will belt this one for his 10th home run, as he now leads the actually, if he wasn't leading the Twins before, he does lead now with 10 home runs. Oswaldo Arcia, a solo shot. Obviously 427 feet. This is his 2nd stint with the Twins. Struggle. He played obviously 3 seasons with them. Was in free agency last year and now back with them as Polanco. Or no, who is this? As Lamare takes the change up for a ball. Arcia spent last year in free agency, back here today as the 4-seam will go for a ball there. He spent last year in free agency. I meant to say this year. He's back with the Twins. He's absolutely bombing it, as Lamare will hit this one foul. He has no home runs or any RBIs. He basically is just the backup outfield here for Minnesota, as now the 2-2 count to Lamare, as he will get this one, hits it back to Shafalani for the 2nd out of the inning. So I'll now bring up leadoff hitter Brandon Phillips, who is batting 231 on the year, working a 1-1 count on the Shafalani here. Or not leadoff, but the 1-hole hitter. Now the 1-1 count, as Phillips gets a hold of this one, as this will get down for a base hit. Brandon Phillips with his first hit of the game. As I'll now bring up second base, of playing shortstop today, Brian Dozier. He struck out in the first, working the 1-1 count on the Shafalani here. As the pitch from Shafalani to Dozier, he will ground this one out to second, the fielder's choice. As that will take us to the end of the third. Oswaldo Arcia's solo shot, 427 feet, tie up this game as Scott Schebler is here to lead off the top four. Now the 1-1 count from Gibson to Schebler as the changeup is in there for a strike to make this a 1-2 count. Gibson, looking to improve on his numbers, has an ERA over 5.5. He is long relief, but just looking to improve on that. As that strike there, the strike there is Adam Duvall. Now up. Gibson with 3 strikeouts in basically 1.1 innings. Yeah, it is 1.1. As now Duvall up, and Gibson will force a fly out. Can Ryan Lamary get there? Yes, he can. So Adam Duvall will fly out. I'll now bring up DH Jesse Winker, who walked his first time at the plate. It is a 1-1 count. As then now this changeup will get in there for a strike. Now the 1-2 count to Jesse Winker. The changeup will force Winker to hit it into foul territory. Can Morrison get over there? Yes, he can. So the Twins will force a 1-2-3 inning on the Reds. Gibson pitches another good inning as Mike Moustakas popped out in the first. Hasn't done much so far with the Twins. All of his home runs and RBIs and stuff has been with the Royals. However, it is a 1-2 count to Mike Moustakas. As Moustakas will ground this one out to Jose Pizzera for the first out of the inning. So I'll now bring up Logan Morrison, batting .292 with 3 home runs, 3 RBIs. As the pitch from Shafalani to Logan Morrison here. As Morrison will get underneath this one, it will be hit to the center fielder in Billy Hamilton, but caught. As these wires are really annoying me now. Jesus Christ. As then now Miguel Sano is up, power hitting third base. The 1-2 count to Miguel Sano from Shafalani. The pitch. Sano will get underneath this one and hit it foul. Shit, was it underneath? Yeah, it was. He was early and underneath. As the slider will be taken for a ball there by Sano. Now the 2-2 count to Sano. The fastball will be taken for a ball there. Mitch Garver is on deck here for Minnesota. So then now the 3-2 count. Sano looks as he takes it for a check swing. So Miguel Sano will take his walk, which will now bring up Wilson. Why did I almost say Wilson Ramos? Mitch Garver. It's because MLB is doing a segment on Wilson Ramos and Cameron Maven. But anyway, Mitch Garver now up as he will take the 4-seam 4 walk there, which will now bring up Max Kepler, who is batting .324 on the year with 4 bombs and 11 RBIs. Now the 2-2 count to Kepler. As Kepler gets a load of this one, but it looks like it is going to be a fly out, and yes it is. So the Twins won't be able to get a run, but they do get 2 men on via walk. As we will head top 5 now, Tucker Barnhart leading off. He singled back in his first plate appearance. This is his second here. Now the 1-1 count from Gibson to Barnhart. He will foul off the 2-seam there to make this a 1-2 count now. As Gibson with the pitch yet again. This one is hit to Brandon Phillips, who makes the easy play and tosses over to first base for the first out of the inning. As now Billy Hamilton 0 for 2 with a pop out and a ground out so far. Now the 1-1 count to the speedster and Billy Hamilton. As the 2-seam fastball will go for a ball there. As the 2-seam fastball will get in there for a strike.
I'm really impressed with what he's doing right now. He's been really aggressive and confident over the last couple of innings.
Now the 2-2 count from Gibson to Shafalani, or to Billy Hamilton as the 2-seam goes. I don't know why I said Deshaufalani. I was just thinking about him for some reason. Hamilton will strike out.
Boy, that's really disappointing for a guy that has wheels, right? All he wants to do is get on base and take advantage of the strength of his game, which is his speed. But with the strikeout right there, you can't get on first base if you strike out.
Alright, sorry I'm back, but Hamilton strikes out, which will now bring up Pizarro, I think, right? Yeah, Jose Pizarro, who will foul this one off to keep the count 1-2, or the count is now 1-2. As Gibson now with the pitch, he will foul off the 2-seam there to keep the count at 1-2. Kyle Gibson with the pitch yet again. Pizarro will hit it to Brandon Phillips, who makes the play, and the Twins will get the out. So a 1-2-3 inning here from Minnesota. That will bring back up Oswaldo Arcia, who hit a solo shot in the third, has another chance for a solo shot. Absolutely powerful hitter. As the pitch now from Deshaufalani, as Oswaldo Arcia will hit this one deep, as it will drop for a base hit. Billy Hamilton could not get over there in time, but Arcia with a very good hit to get on base. As Ryan LeMaire now up, the backup outfielder, starting in place for Byron Buxton. So now the 1-1 count to to Ryan LeMaire with Arcia on first. He will take the slider there for a ball to make this a 2-1 count.
That's that big sweeping slider. If it was a little closer, you might get a swing.
So the grounder there, or the bunt there by LeMaire, moves up Arcia up to second, the sac bunt, which will now bring up Brandon Phillips, who got a base hit earlier, I do believe. 1 home run, 1 RBI so far for Brandon Phillips. The 1-1 count to him. As Phillips will get this one down for a base hit and an RBI chance. Oh, it's actually missed by Billy Hamilton, so Phillips with even more of a chance. He rounds third, as he will stay at third. Thought about going home, but the third base coach waved him back. So an RBI triple there for Brandon Phillips, his first triple of the season, which will now bring up Brian Dozier working a 1-1 count. What a hit there by Phillips. As Dozier will get this one down for a base hit and an RBI. He's going for 2, as Brian Dozier will get an RBI double there to give the Twins a 3-1 lead over the Reds. As I will now bring up Mike Moustakas working a 1-1 count, 0-2 so far today. As then now Deshaufalani with the pitch, as Moustakas will foul off the slider there. Deshaufalani with a 4.99 ERA, obviously. 1-2 count. To Mike Moustakas as the pitch from Deshaufalani, as he will hit this one to the third base, who makes the play. Moustakas has been struggling with the Twins so far, which is they wanted a powerful first baseman. Haven't really gotten much of that with Mike Moustakas so far, but he could just be in a slump right now. As that will now bring up Logan Morrison, who is working a 2-2 count. As Morrison will hit this one to the first base, that will be the final out. But the Twins do take a 3-1 lead after an RBI triple by Phillips and then an RBI double by Brian Dozier. So Kyle Gibson now top 6, 1-1 count on Joey Votto, as he will hit that one back to Gibson, who easily makes the play and will toss it over to first base. So Joey Votto is out. As then now coming is Eugenio Suarez, who is 0-2 with 2 strikeouts, working a 1-1 count, as Kyle Gibson now back in, as the slider will be fouled off by Eugenio Suarez. The 4th pitch now to Suarez, as this one will be fouled off there to keep the count 1-2. Gibson sets, he throws as that two-seam fastball will get Suarez to swing. It's basically on his body, but he swings, and that will be another strikeout for Gibson, his fifth of the game through 3.2. Now with 2 outs, no men on, this will bring up Scooter Gennett, the 2-1 count. As the pitch there, the two-seam will go for a ball to make this count 3-1. Gibson now brings the heat. The two-seam gets in there 90 miles per hour for the second strike. So 3-2 count now from Gibson as the pitch there is hit deep by Gennett, but it will go into foul territory. And it would not have been gone as Kyle Gibson now still full count to Gennett. He brings the heat and he will walk his first batter of the game, as Gennett will get on base with the walk. So Scott Schebler up 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout today. 2-1 count to Schebler as the changeup there will get through for a base hit, as Lemare will throw it into Miguel Sano. So runners now on first and second with Adam Duvall up, and there is action now brewing in the bullpen. This is Presley and Zach Duke warming up there, as then now the 3-0 count to Duvall. The changeup gets in there for a strike. Now the 3-1 count. The changeup there gets in there for another strike. So now a 3-2 count. Gibson works back in with 2 changeups in that same spot. As then now the two-seam will be hit to Sano, and Sano will fire it for the out. The final out of the inning as Gibson gets out of trouble, as that will now bring up Miguel Sano 0 for 1 as he walked back in the 4th or the 3rd, I do believe. And warming up in the bullpen is Randy Peralta. Like I said, this is exactly what Minnesota needs. They need to chase out Deshafolani, as Sano will hold off on that curveball. So that will now make it 1-2 count. As the pitch here by Deshafolani, as Sano will get a hold of this one. It is deep, but it is too high to be gone, as that one is caught by the right fielder in Scott Schebler. So I'll now bring up Mitch Garver, who's 0 for 1. He walked in the 4th as well. Him and Sano, obviously. As Garver will swing on the 4-seamer and miss. That's Deshafolani's 3rd strikeout of the game. As now up is Max Kepler 0 for 2 with a flyout and a pop-out so far today. Is working a full count on Deshafolani, so could even potentially take a walk here. As the pitch from Deshafolani to Kepler, and Kepler will get this one down for a single. Jumping Eugenio Suarez can't get there. So now up at the plate, or coming up I should say, is the DH Oswaldo Arcia. But before that, the end of the day for Deshafolani, as the manager comes on, he will call it a day, as Homer Bailey working a 7.85 ERA, 1-2 record, 19 games, completely struggling, as Oswaldo Arcia is the batter he faces. This is not a batter though that you want to start off against. 10 bombs on the year for us Arcia, as he will take Homer Bailey deep, and Arcia with his 11th absolutely crushes that into the right field stands, 424 feet. Not as long as his first one, but still a moonshot for his 11th home run. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Arcia in the All-Star game or the home run derby, as that will now bring up Ryan Lemare, who will shoot this one to center field, and making the catch there is Billy Hamilton for the final out. But the Twins are up 5-1, as Kyle Gibson will remain in the game with Jesse Winker up 0 for 1. He walked in the second, which will now bring up the 2-1 count to Winker, as Kyle Gibson with the hit here, as this will be a tough play by Dozier, who I have no idea what happened there, but okay. So Suarez is on with an error, as that will now bring up Tucker Barnhart. Hopefully Gibson wants to force a double play here, as Barnhart will hit this one to foul territory. Gibson needs a double play here. He's probably going to look to get a double play, as Miguel Sano makes the catch there at third base, as he will rifle it over to the second baseman, Brandon Phillips. As I will now bring up the speedster center fielder, Billy Hamilton. 1-1 count from Gibson to Hamilton, as Hamilton will get a hold of this one, as it will be a foul ball. Diving forward is Morrison, however, he won't be able to get there. The 1-2 count now, as Hamilton will hit this one to right field, as that will be Kepler, who can't get over there. So still the 1-2 count. Gibson with the changeup. This will be hit foul. Once again, Gibson working 58 pitches through 4.1. Now the 1-2 count, as Gibson's changeup will be swung on a miss by Billy Hamilton for the second out, I do believe, right? Yep, the second out. So then now the 3-1 count to Jose Pizarro, as that two-seam will get in there for a strike. 3-2 count now to Pizarro. As the changeup, though, the slider there, they say that he held off on it, that he did not swing. So he will be on with the walk. I will now bring a power-hitting third baseman, Joey Votto. This is the last guy you want to face. Full count. Votto will get this one down for a base hit, as going home, and he will be safe. So the Cincinnati Reds come within 3 runs now. It is 5-2. So Eugenio Suarez could completely change this with a home run, as Gibson now with the pitch. The two-seam is fouled off there. Gibson now brings the heat, as that will get down for a base hit, as it looks like that is going to be the end of the day for Kyle Gibson, as the manager starts to trot out, as it is now 5-3. And coming in for him is Zach Duke, probably one of their best relief pitchers on the team. He has been performing well for them. And now warming up in the pen is Addison Reed and Fernando Rodney, the closer. As Duke will give up a base hit, and all of a sudden the bases are loaded here for Cincinnati, as it was set up by Gibson, and now Duke's going to have to work out of a bases loaded jam. As the pitch now by Duke, the 2-2, the slider gets in there, swung on a miss by Schebler. So Duke with the strikeouts. That will be the end of the inning, or end of the top of the 7th. We will now hit bottom 7 with Brandon Phillips leading off here for Cincinnati. The pitch, as Phillips will hit this one to the first baseman. Who is their first baseman? Joey Votto's playing first base? I didn't even realize that. So Brian Dozier now 1 for 3. He is up, working a 1-1 count on Homer Bailey. Right? Yeah, this is still Bailey. And so he will, they say that he went around fully on the changeup. Now the 1-2 count. The pitch here from Bailey, as Dozier will hit this one back into the seats for a foul ball. Still a 1-2 count. As Dozier gets a hold of this ball, it's hit to deep center field, but it will be caught by Billy Hamilton. Not deep enough, just about on the warning track. So that will now bring up Mike Moustakas, right? Yep, Mike Moustakas hasn't really done much with the Twins so far. He is up now, as Moustakas hits this one, and it will be caught by the right fielder. So I'll now bring up Adam Duvall. Coming in for Zach Duke is set-up reliever Addison Reed. In 9 games, he has an 0-1 record. He has 1 save on the year, 2.61 ERA, along with 12 strikeouts on the year. So Addison Reed checks in, leading off against Adam Duvall. The 1-1 count now, as Duvall gets a hold of this, and Addison Reed, on the first batter he faces, Duvall takes him deep. Now the 2-1 count. So now warming up in the pen is Trevor Hildenberger after he gave up that home run. Now the 2-1 count to Jesse Winker. The changeup there is fouled off, as the Reds have now came within 1. So the changeup now by Reed will strike out Winker for his first strikeout of the game. His first out of the game. And then now coming up is Tucker Barnhart, the catcher, working a 2-1 count on Reed. Reed brings the fastball. That one will be fouled off, 2-2 count. As this one will be grounded out to Brian Dozier, the shortstop, who makes the play for the second out of the inning. So I'll now bring up speedster Billy Hamilton, working a 1-1 count on Reed. As the pitch by Reed, Hamilton sends this one deep And it will be caught there by Max Kepler for the final out of the 8th inning. Or top 8. As Wendy Peralta checks in, working at 3.71 ERA, 1-0 record, 17 games. As Logan Morrison now is going to be the first batter he faces. Peralta obviously being a lefty. Morrison, not too much power against lefties. But the 2-2 count as the pitch here. And Morrison will get this one down for a base hit. So leadoff hit for Morrison, which will now bring up Mitch Garver, the former starter for Minnesota. Now the backup, obviously behind Gary Sanchez. As Miguel, it's actually Miguel Sanoa. I thought that was Mitch Garver, but no, it's Miguel Sanoa, who has tons of power in general, but more power against lefties. As then now the 1-1 count to Miguel Sano, as Sano will completely swing on and miss the changeup there to make the count 1-2. As Sano will ground it, and Morrison was stealing, so at least Morrison will move on to second, and basically a sack grounder, you can say. So I'll bring up Mitch Garver now, working the 1-1 count. As Garver attempts to bunt, as that four-seam will hit him, but since it was a bunt, he is not going anywhere. As Morrison will be safe. It's a wild throw, and Morrison will be safe at home. He was stealing third. The catch was bobbled by Barnhart there. Take a look at the replay, actually, on this play. The pitch here from Deshafalani, it's bobbled by Tucker Barnhart, who then tries to throw it to third. But you look here, it goes off the mark. Here you go. As the ball goes off the mark for third base. Wide there, and then Morrison then gets up and takes off for home, where he is completely safe, standing up. As the Twins do take a 6-4 lead now. Mitch Garver still up, working the 2-2 count. The pitch now from Peralta, as Garver will ground this one there, and Garver will ground it out to the shortstop. So now bring up Max Kepler. Obviously, good amount of power for Kepler. He is working a 3-0 count though on Wendy Peralta. As the pitch now from Peralta to Kepler, as he will ground this one to the second baseman for the out. And the Phillies got Wilson Ramos, alright. Can like cash in be like active or like no? So we had top 9 now, Peraza leading off top 9, but coming into the game is Fernando Rodney. In 11 games he has 11 saves, has not allowed any ERA, 0.00. As this will be Peraza leading off now. The 3-1 count. The circle change. We'll get in there for a called strike. Now full count now. As Fernando Rodney with the 4-seam or the 2-seam, it will be popped up, and Miguel Sano makes the play in foul territory for the first out of the inning. So 1 down, 2 to go before the Twins get the win. As this will now be Joey Votto up. He has 2 singles and an RBI, 2 for 4 today. As the pitch from Rodney, as the circle change will be fouled off by Votto to make this count 1-2. Now Rodney now brings the heat. Votto hits this one deep but it won't be deep enough as that will be Lemare underneath it for the second out of the inning. As 2 down, 1 to go now for Rodney gets his 12th save of the year. As the 3-2 pitch to Eugenio Suarez, he will ground this one to Brian Dozier, who makes the play, as that will be the last out of the inning, as last out of the game, as the Twins will get the win 6-4. If we take a look, your winning pitcher was Kyle Gibson. He is now 2-1. He pitched 4.2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Fernando Rodney with his 12th save. Oswaldo Arcia going 3 for 3 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs. Brandon Phillips 2 for 4 with a triple, an RBI, and a run. Logan Morrison 1 for 4 with the run, along with Max Kepler. Adam Duvall hit a home run this game. Scooter Gennett 2 for 3 with the run. Pizarro 1 for 4 with the 1. Joey Votto 2 for 5 with an RBI. Deshaun is your losing pitcher, going 0 for 2. He pitched in 5.2 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 ER, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Arcia with an amazing game. He now has 11 home runs, which I do believe is leading the MLB. We'll actually take a look here if it is leading the MLB. No, we won't go team ranking. Actually, no, we will look team rankings quick. We do lead the MLB in home runs, obviously, but take a look at the most home runs. Oswaldo Arcia leads the American League as well as the MLB in home runs at 11. Now pitching is Irving Santana. Okay, hopefully it actually is him in this game. It's just not screwing up. It says it is Irving Santana. Okay, cool. So we will give Moustakis, or no, we'll give Dozier a rest. We'll also give Miguel Sano a rest, so who can play third base? Polanco can. Alright, so we are going to actually switch out Polanco, so Miguel Sano can get a rest. Actually, no. So no, you're going to go back to third base. Yeah, let's do this. And then, well, yeah, we'll let Brandon Phillips bat second, and then we'll go that. Yeah, we can go that, yeah. Yeah, cool, I like this lineup, alright. Yeah, alright, I like this lineup. Take a look at the pitching matchup. Sal Romano, 2 for 3 with the 4.71 ERA so far, 2 and 3. And then you got Irving Santana, who is 3-1 with the 2.91 ERA, best Twins pitcher so far this year. The Twins are 4 games ahead here in the AL Central, and they do have an MLB leading 50 home runs, basically thanks to Oswaldo Arcia and the rest of the power hitters that actually have cooled down. So the pitcher here, obviously, Irving Santana, he has started in 5 games, 3-1 record, 2.91 ERA. He has pitched in 34 innings. He's allowed 20 hits, 8 walks, along with 36 strikeouts. So leading off here is Billy Hamilton, has 1 bomb, 4 RBIs, also batting .250 on the year. Now the 1-1 count to Hamilton, the 4-seam will get in there for a ball to make this a 2-1 count. Santana with the pitch yet again. Hamilton will send this one deep, but Byron Buxton will catch it there for the first out of the game. So now the 1-1 count to Jose Pizarro, as this one will be a fastball for a strike there to make this count 1-2. Santana with the pitch again, and the slider there will be fielded by Moustakis for the second out of the inning. So now bring up Joey Votto, who has 22 RBIs, which I believe is leading the team. And then now Votto will get this one down for a base hit, as Buxton will just toss it in.
Boy, this guy's been swinging a hot stick lately. There's just
Hang on. Wait, is it already out or no? Hang on. I had to look at something quick. Alright, so I just had to check something. So Joey Votto does get a base hit, which will now bring up Eugenio Suarez as the slider there. And Suarez will hit this one, and it will be a fielder's choice there at shortstop. Tosses it over to second base for. Yeah, so Sal Romano, 2-3, 4.71 ERA is Byron Buxton now up 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, along with 10 stolen bases, leading the Minnesota Twins. The 2-2 count to Buxton. As Buxton will foul this one back near the Twins dugout, gets underneath that and was late on it, but still 2-2 count nevertheless. As the 4-seam fastball will go for a ball there to make this 3-2 count. As the slider will go there for ball, so Byron Buxton gets on base, which will now bring up Brandon Phillips, who is working with 1 home run and 2 RBIs. Got an RBI in yesterday's game, as it will be an 0-2 count. Byron Buxton is stealing, and Byron Buxton will be in there safe for his 11th stolen base of the year. Now the 1-2 count to Brandon Phillips. So Brandon Phillips gets it down for a base hit. A tough play there by Votto, who is playing first base right yet. It was a tough play for Votto. Why do I keep thinking Votto is third base? I have no idea. But a tough play by Votto, nevertheless can't get it, as Phillips will get yet another RBI. So the Minnesota Twins already up 1-0. So that will bring up Eddie Rosario here. As Rosario will get a hold of this one, as it will be a fly out for the first out of the game. So now bring up Dozier's getting a day's rest. That will bring up Miguel Sano. 6 home runs, 18 RBIs for Miguel. Has cooled down as he started off hot, cooled down. Looking to get back to where he was. So now the 3-2 count. Sano will get a hold of this ball. It is hit deep. If it fares, it's gone, but it is not fair. He was early on that. Otherwise, it would have definitely been gone. Anyway, the 3-2 count. As Sano gets this one down, but it will go for a double play. However, Minnesota does have a 1-0 lead after Brandon Phillips gets an RBI single. As Scooter Gennett now leading off here, top second. As Irving Santana with the pitch, the 1-1 count. It will be played by Moustakas, who gets the first out, takes it to the bag himself. A good stop there, but to take away a hit. So now up is Scott Schiebler here for Cincinnati. The 2-1 count from Santana. This one is fouled back to make this a 2-2 count. Santana now with the slider, 2-2. It is hit deep, and it will be picked up by Byron Buxton. This will most likely be a double. Yes, it will. So it goes for a double here with the 1 out. As that will bring up Adam Duvall, who is hitting 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. As then now Irving Santana, the 1-1 count. Fastball gets in there for a ball, 2-1. The slider gets in there for a strike to make this 2-2. As this is hit deep, not deep, about shallow left, as this one is caught by Rosario, who will toss it in to, who even fucking is that, 22? Brian Dozier's not that, right? Roy Polanco, right. Now the 1-1 count, Irving Santana looks, he pitches the 4-seam, which is fouled off there by Tucker Barnhart. Wait, who is this? Yeah, it is, Jesse Winker, right. Now the 1-2 count to Winker. The change up there is fouled off by Winker to keep it 1-2. as this one will be grounded. It's going to be a tough play for Phillips, who does make it for the final out of the inning, as the Twins will escape. They'll now bring up Mike Moustakas, who has struggled with the Twins so far, going up against righty, and obviously Sal Romano has good power against righties. Another 1-1 count, as Moustakas will foul off the changeup there to make it 1-2. It's the pitch here from Romano. Moustakas will get a hold of this ball, and it will go down for at least a single. He is going for two. It's going to be a close play at second. He will slide in safely into second. So a double there for Moustakas, his 5th of the year, as that will bring up Gary Sanchez, 7 home runs, 20 RBIs, is batting .318. Now the 1-1 count to Gary Sanchez. The pitch from Romano, any minute now. Yep. The pitch from Romano, as Sanchez will ground this one, and it most likely will be a ground out. Yes, it will. So 1 down now for Cincinnati. 2 more to go here. Bottom 3, or bottom 2 actually. So this will now bring up Max Kepler, Rick, and 1-1 count on Sal Romano. As the pitch from Romano to Kepler, as he will ground this one out, but it will move up Mike Moustakas onto third for Oswaldo Arcia, who does have an MLB leading 11 home runs. The 1-1 count to Arcia from Romano. Romano is a righty, so that means Arcia does have tons of power. As Arcia is early on that, as he will hit this one foul. If you're a pitcher going up against Arcia, you got to be nervous. I mean, the guy's leading the MLB in home runs. Absolutely powerful hitter. As Arcia will not get a hold of this one, so Romano will escape the hole there. As Tucker Barnhart will lead off for the Reds here, top 3. As the pitch from Irvin Santana, 2-1 count. Barnhart will foul off the 4-seam to make this a 2-2 count. As the 4-seam there will go for a ball, make this a 3-2 count. Irving Santana brings the heat on that 2-seam there, fouled off by Tucker Barnhart to keep this alive. Santana now full count still to Barnhart, as he will ground this one. And not picking up is Max Kepler, so he could not field it for some reason. So that will be a leadoff double for Barnhart, which will now bring up Billy Hamilton. Amazing speed for Billy. 2-1 count, as that 4-seam will get called for a ball. It's actually a tough call by the ump, but probably made the right call, as Hamilton will send this one to left field. Rosario chasing, as he will dive but not be able to make the catch. 2-2 count now, as the 4-seam will get in there for a strike. Santana strikes out his first batter of the game for the first out. 3-2 count now to Jose Pizarro, as this one will be sent to Byron Buxton, who makes the grab, as he will throw it in to Miguel Sano to hold up Barnhart at second. So now bring up Joey Votto. The 1-1 count to Votto. The fastball called strike. That's a debatable call, but nevertheless a 1-2 count. Santana now with the pitch. Votto sends this one deep. Is it gone? Yes, it will, as Cincinnati takes a 2-1 lead with Votto's 7th home run of the year. Then all of a sudden, it's a 2-1 lead for Cincinnati. 3-1 count now to Gina Suarez. That one's fouled off. 3-2 after the foul ball. Santana with the pitch. 4-seam fouled off. Twins need to get some runs going in this game as well. They're not going up against a good pitcher. That 4-seam is swung on and missed. They're not going up against a good pitcher, and this lineup has been well too improved to not show up. So Jorge Polanco, batting 3 home runs along with 16 RBIs on the year, is up, working a 2-1 count on Sal Romano, as he will take the 4-seam there for a ball. 3-2 count, or 3-1 count. So Jorge Polanco will get this through the gap for a base hit.
Through for a base hit. So the Twins put their leadoff hitter on to get the inning started. Nice execution right there, Dan. Kept his front shoulder.
How am I not getting these notifications?
Inside the baseball and ripped the base hit up the middle. And if you're a pitcher right there, you can't get discouraged. Sometimes even when you make a good pitch, the ball's going to find a hole somewhere. That one right up the middle.
On the 1-1 count to Byron Buxton, the leadoff man here, or the one-hole hitter. I don't know why I keep saying leadoff man. So Buxton, what a play there by Eugenio Suarez to take away a base hit from Byron Buxton.
Digging in for his second at bat, Brandon Phillips looking to follow up the RBI single from his first at bat.
Now the 1-1 count to Brandon Phillips.
There goes Polanco, line to the right side.
As this one will go foul. If it was fair, it's going to be very, very huge for Minnesota.
Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball.
Phillips will hit a slow one as the play is made to first base. I'll now bring up Eddie Rosario, batting 8 home runs, 17 RBIs in the year, .255 ERA. I believe he flew out in the first. Now the 1-1 count to Rosario. Pitch from Romano to Rosario as he will. They say that he went around on the changeup to make this a 1-2 count. Like I said, this Twins lineup needs to start being able to get runs. As Rosario with the hit, it is hit deep, and it will not be able to be the play made. So Minnesota will tie up this game after a Rosario RBI double. Rosario's 6th double. So I'll now bring up Miguel Sano, batting .309 now. Has struggled as of recently. He has cooled down from where he began, along with Brian Dozier. Brian Dozier has just been struggling now as he gets the day off. As Sano will ground this one for the second out of the inning, or the third out of the inning. However, the Twins do tie up the lead with the game with an RBI double from Eddie Rosario. Now the 1-1 count, top 4 here. Irving Santana with the changeup gets in there for a strike to make this a 1-2 count. The pitch from Santana, the two-seam gets in there for a strike 3, or he swung on a miss for a strike 3. Nevertheless, strikeout. Scott Schebler up, one home run, 11 RBIs on the year so far. Is batting about .370. The 1-1 count to Schebler as it will be fouled off. 1-2 count now. Santana pitches the four-seam, which gets in there for strike 3, called strike 3. As Adam Duvall now, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's up, working a 2-1 count on Santana. Santana now with 4 strikeouts has started to cruise as that slider gets in there for a strike, 2-2 count. As the slider there will be fouled off. This will be a grounder to the second baseman in Brandon Phillips for the final out, top 4, as we will head to the bottom 4. As Mike Moustakas now 1 for 1, obviously he hit that double in the second, still looking for his first home run as a Minnesota Twin in his 3rd game, I do believe. Now the 1-1 count to Moustakas as he will get a hold of this one deep. It does look a little bit high though. Is it gone? Yes, it is. Mike Moustakas, right center field, second deck solo shot from Mike Moustakas as the Twins take the lead. Should now bring up a 1-1 count for Gary Sanchez, the catcher, as the pitch here from Romano, as Sanchez will get a hold of this ball, and it will be what a catch by Billy Hamilton, taking away a single from Gary Sanchez, as Max Kepler will now be up. Oh my. Just takes away a hit from Gary As now the 1-1 count to Max Kepler. As the changeup will go for a ball there.
I don't blame him for not coming over the heart of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He was just swinging one of the hottest bats in the game.
As Kepler will get that one down for a base hit, which will now bring up Oswaldo Arcia. The DH leads the team with 11 home runs. Batting 306 on the year. Right, this is Arcia? Yep, it is. Now the 1-1 count to Arcia. The pitch from Romano. So he will swing on and miss as Kepler goes to take second, and he will be in there safely. 1-2 count now to Arcia on a wild pitch. Romano with the pitch. Arcia will swing and miss on the changeup there. So I'll now bring up Jorge Polanco, who 1 for 1. He hit a single and brought in a run. So pitch now to Jorge Polanco as he will hit this one deep, and it will be caught by Jorge Polanco. So it wasn't, Billy Hamilton wasn't that deep, but a good play there. And the Twins do take a 3-2 lead after a solo shot by Mike Moustakis, as Jesse Winker now up here top 5. Ervin Santana still remains in the game as that 4-seam will be fouled off. Now the 1-2 count to Winker as the changeup there is fouled off to stay alive. Santana now with the slider. Winker fouls this one off to stay alive. Still a 1-2 count. Santana now with the changeup. This will be hit to Eddie Rosario, who makes the catch for the first out. Top 5 here. Tucker Barnhart now up 1 for 1. He got a double and a run earlier today. 2-1 count now to Barnhart. The pitch from Santana is in there for a strike. 2-2. As Santana now throws the 4-seam, which is completely for a ball. Good eye there by Barnhart. 3-2 count. As the 4-seam will get Barnhart to swing and miss for Santana's 5th strikeout of the game. So now bring up Billy Hamilton, the 1-hole hitter. Absolute speedster. The 1-1 count now to Billy as the changeup will get in there for a strike. To make this a 1-2 count. Santana with the 1-2 pitch. It will be hit. Can Rosario get there? Yes, he can. So the Reds go down 1-2-3 as leading off here is Byron Buxton. Leading off bottom 5, the 1-1 count to Byron. It's the pitch from Romano. Buxton will. They say that he held, but it was a called strike there to make it 1-2. The pitch from Romano, as Buxton will get this one down for a base hit. As speedy Byron Buxton will have another chance for a stolen base. So we'll call up Brandon Phillips here. The 1-1 count to Phillips. As Buxton will attempt to steal, and he's in there safely. Buxton with the stolen base. Now 1-2 count to Phillips. As Phillips will get a hold of this one, and he will just hit it foul. It would have been fair, would have brought in a run. As Phillips now hits this one into the stands for a foul ball. As Buxton is in there with another stolen base, Phillips tried to bunt, but Buxton gets a stolen base there. As I will now bring up Eddie Rosario with a runner on first, a 3-0 count to Eddie. 8 bombs, 18 RBIs so far for him on the year. Definitely could have the green light to swing, as he does swing on a pitch that he probably should not swing at. It is going to be a tough play. They do get the out. However, the RBI ground out will bring in Byron Buxton, as Miguel Sano is now up the 1-1 count to Sano. As Sano will hit this one foul to make the count 1-2. Sano is now batting .305. Obviously has taken a little bit of a cool down, as Sano will hit this one back for a foul tip. Now the 1-2 count. Pitch from Romano. This one will be fouled back by Sano to keep the count 1-2. Here we go. Come on. Pitch the ball. Sano will get a hold of this one. It gets it through the gap in right center, as this will most likely be a stand-up double. Yes, it is stand-up double for Miguel Sano. That is Sano's I don't know what number double that is, didn't show, but Mike Moustakas obviously hit the solo shot earlier, is back up at the plate working a 3-2 count as Moustakas gets underneath this one for most likely the final out here. Yep. Twins are up 4-2 though after the RBI ground out, as Pereza leading off here, top 6. This will be caught by Byron Buxton for the first out. Irving Santana is actually pitching strong. Still has a lot of stamina left, and he's already at like 77 pitches. Now the 3-1 count to Votto. Votto gets a hold of this pitch, but too high, as Kepler looks to stand underneath it, and Kepler will get the out for the second out of the inning. Now Eugenio Suarez for 2 so far today, working a 1-1 count on Irving Santana. The pitch by Santana will get in there for a strike to make this a 1-2 count. As the 4-seam will go for a ball there, 2-2. And the slider will get in there for a strike 3, or swung on and missed. As Amir Garrett checks in, 7.53 ERA. This is exactly what the Twins needed to do, is get their bullpen involved. It's what I'm going to be saying every game against Cincinnati. You need to get their bullpen involved, because their bullpen is one of the worst in MLB outside of Raisel Iglesias. So now the 1-2 count from Garrett to Gary, as Gary will take the 4-seam in there for a ball, 2-2 count. There's a pitch from Garrett to Sanchez. Sanchez will hit this one foul. As this one is hit deep by Gary. Is it deep enough for a home run? Yes, it is. Gary Sanchez with his 8th bomb, as the Dodgers get Brian Dozier in real life.
Solo shot here for Gary Sanchez. 8th home run of the season for him, and just like that, it's now a 5-2 ball game.
5-2. Minnesota lead after Gary Sanchez's 408-foot bomb just getting out. As that will bring up Max Kepler. The 1-1 count. He's been an underrated slugger for Minnesota, batting .329 with 4 bombs, 11 RBIs. As Kepler they say that he went around on the changeup. Alright, I need food in me. Bad though. Shit. Now the 1-2 count. As the slider will go for a ball there, 2-2. The pitch from Romano, as Kepler will hit this one to Eugenio Suarez for the out. The pop-up, as that'll bring up Oswaldo Arcia who is hitting 11 bombs on the year. AL leading 3-2 count to Arcia as well. This is one of the counts he loves to be in. He loves to either be down or have a full count, as Arcia gets a hold of this one, but it is foul. It's fair, that's gone, but it goes foul. So that was just a little bit early for Arcia. So now the 3-2 pitch once again, as Arcia will foul off the four seam there. Got a little bit underneath it. Actually, a lot underneath it. Now the 3-2 count, as Arcia will make this a tough play, but they will get it for the second out of the inning, which will now bring up Jorge Polanco here, the bottom of the inning, I should say. 2-1 count now to Jorge Polanco. As the pitch from Garrett, as Polanco will get this one down for a base hit. So that will bring up Byron Buxton. Turner run 6 RBIs, is batting .238 so far on the year. 1-1 count from Garrett to Buxton. As Buxton will, I don't even know what happened there, but okay. 1-2 count now to Byron Buxton. The pitch from Garrett. Buxton will ground this one to the shortstop, and Pizarro will just toss it over to Jeanette for the out. And now leading off is Scooter Jeanette, as Irving Santana is still going strong here. Top 7, 1-1 count to Jeanette. As the pitch, Moustakis can't make the play, as Kepler misjudges the ball too, and Jeanette will stay at second with the leadoff double there. His 4th double of the season, as Scott Schebler up. And now warming up in the pen is Trevor Hildenberger as well as Fernando Rodney, as the four seam there is fouled off. And the slider there is hit deep, but not deep enough for a home run, as Byron Buxton gets underneath it, trying to move to third base is Scooter Jeanette, and he will do that safely. So basically Santana has to get a strikeout or either a pop-up on Adam Duvall, as Santana with the pitch, this will be fouled off. As the four seam there is fouled off once again. And now the two seams fouled off. The slider there goes for a ball, 2-2 count. And the four seam will get in there for a swing and a miss. As now up is Jesse Winker, so Santana almost working out of this jam. 3-2 count now to Winker, as he will ground this out. Big play by Brandon Phillips to take away a run, so Irvin Santana. He has Austin Bryce checks in the game, 4.19 ERA, as Brandon Phillips will lead off here. The 1-1 count. Homer Bailey warming up, he pitched yesterday. 5-2 Twins lead. It's a pitch, and Brandon Phillips will hit this one. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. He makes it for the first out. Not really tough play, but a different play. And then now up at bat is Eddie Rosario. Obviously 8 bombs on the year. The 1-1 count to Rosario. Has been a surprise slugger for Minnesota, as he will foul off that high four seam. 1-2 count. Rosario will foul off that four seam there. Pitch once again, as the broken bat will result. Good play there by Bryce, I think, who's in, right? Yeah, Bryce. So now coming up is Miguel Sano. He doubled in the 5th to raise his batting average up to .313. Pirates get Chris Archer. I didn't even see that pitch. It's a ball. Alright. I was just looking at Pirates getting Chris Archer. Alright. The 3-1 count now. As Miguel Sano will ground, or not even, just a little tapper, as that will be the final out. As we will head top 8 now. Tucker Barnhart now up. Irving Santana remaining in the game for right now, the 2-1 count. Santana with the 2-seam there. This is hit deep, but Buxton will get underneath it for the first out. Top 8. Now up is Billy Hamilton. I mean, they're basically the same guy, Buxton and Hamilton. As that 4-seam will get in there, swing and miss. Irving Santana's 8th strikeout of the game. So now up is Jose Peraza. What the fuck was that? Why can't I say his name? Jose Peraza, there you go. I don't even think that's right, but whatever. As he will hit this one to left fielder Eddie Rosario for the final out of the top 8. So Irving Santana gets through 8. Now Mike Moustakas, home run, a double, and RBI today, working a 3-2 count on Bryce, who is a righty. Alright, cool. The 3-2 count. As Moustakas sends this one deep, and that is absolutely crushed. Basically out of the ballpark, 431 feet by Moustakas. As that one absolutely crushed. As coming up now, it's Gary Sanchez working a 1-2 count. 6-2 lead for Minnesota here. As the changeup there will be fouled off by Gary Sanchez, keeping the count at 1-2. As the 4-seam fastball there will be taken by Gary to make this a 2-2 count. As Sanchez sends this one high and deep, as that one is gone. Gary Sanchez. Moustakas and Gary goes back to back, 378 feet. Sanchez's second home run on the game. As Moustakas and Gary, the new Twin acquisitions, are coming out to play today, and this is why the Twins have been leading the MLB in home runs. This is why they needed to acquire more power. They didn't really have a power hitting first base in Joe Mauer. They went out and got Mike Moustakas. But Wilson Ramos wasn't doing what they really wanted at the catcher position when it came to hitting. I mean, his average was well, but it was starting to go down. He couldn't really hit home runs all that much as they would have liked. Traded him. Then they went out and got Gary Sanchez from New York. They picked up Arcia, who's been a very big surprise as he swings and misses on the changeup. But still, amazing team. Jorge Polanco is even contributing with 3 bombs on the year. He's probably only going to hit about 10 to 15 this year, I would say. But still, anything that the Twins can take, they'll get, as Polanco will foul off that curveball there to make this a 1-2 count. Twins up 7-2. As Polanco will foul off that changeup there. Kepler gets a stolen base as Polanco checks his swing. 2-2 count now to Polanco. As the 2-seam completely goes for ball. The 3-2 count now to Jorge Polanco. As Polanco gets this one down for a base hit, going home. Oh no, staying at third actually is Kepler. It looks like he was going home, but he tripped up turning third, so he goes back home. As that one will bring up Byron Buxton now, who has an RBI chance. Only 6 on the year so far, but obviously he is leadoff man, so he's probably not really going to get too much, as he does hit this one for a sac fly. Going home is Kepler after tagging up. It's going to be a close play at home, and Kepler is in there for the sac fly RBI. So that one will now bring up Brandon Phillips, who is 1 for 4 today, batting .300 on the year. As Phillips will get this down for a base hit. Trying to move on to third is Jorge Polanco, and he will get in there safely. As that one will now bring up Eddie Rosario. 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, batting .257. Surprise slugger once again for Minnesota. As I have no idea why Rosario was swinging at that, but he does. The 1-2 count now. Pitch from Bryce to Rosario. This will be the end of the inning after he barely got contact on that one. So then now 1-1 count. Santana is looking for a complete game as Santana now with the 4-seam gets in there for a strike. 1-2 count.
Looking at his lifetime numbers, Otto wins play with a slugging percentage north of .525. Certainly a line we can take pride in. Kepler is there.
As that one will be a fly out as Eugenio Suarez now up 0-for-3 with the strikeout so far today. 1-1 count to Eugenio after Votto's fly out. As that 4-seam will go for a ball there. 2-1. It's the pitch from Santana. The 4-seam will be fouled off there. Santana working with 8 strikeouts on the day so far. Needs to strike out the next 2. As this one will be hit for potentially a double. As Suarez is going for 2, and it will go in there for a double. The 5th double on the year for Eugenio Suarez. That will bring up Jeanette. Now the 1-2 count from Santana as he will strike out Jeanette. Just needs to strike out the next batter for double digits as Scott Schebler, that is. The 1-1 count to Schebler as Santana now with the pitch. The 4-seam will get in there for, what's his ERA? That'll be for a ball. Now the 2-1 count. Santana, the fastball gets it for a ball once again. So then now a 3-1 count. Santana brings the heat once again as Schebler will foul this one off. 3-2 count now. As the 2-seam will go for a walk, so Schebler gets on base, and that will bring up Jesse Winker. Or actually Adam Duvall. My bad. Now the 1-1 count to Duvall. As this one will be hit to the outfield. That will be Max Hepler getting underneath it. And the Minnesota Twins will win 8-2. They get a complete game from Irving Santana, so the bullpen gets a rest, which they really, really needed. So your winning pitcher, obviously Irving Santana, who improves now to 4-1, pitched 9 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 ER, 1 walk, along with the 9 strikeouts. Mike Moustakas went 3-for-4 with 2 home runs, a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. Gary Sanchez 2-for-4 with 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. Byron Buxton 1-for-3 with an RBI and 2 runs. Eddie Rosario 1-for-5 with a double and 2 RBIs. Your losing pitcher was Sal Romano, who now drops to 2-4 on the year, working a 5. He pitched in 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 ER, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Joey Votto hit a home run today, going 2-for-4 with obviously the home run, 2 RBIs and a run. Tucker Barnhart 1-for-3 with the double and a run. Scott Schebler 1-for-3 with the double, as well as Eugenio Suarez. However, he went 0-for-4. Twins obviously win 8-2, as they have now won the Cincinnati series, but there is still 1 game remaining. They have now won 4 straight. So we take a look at the standings. 4.5 games back now is Kansas City, as it will be Odorizzi versus Taylor Mail, I do believe, unless the game obviously changes it, but
afternoon baseball. Lance Lynn, the right-hander out of Indiana, will be doing the pitching in this one. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, we look a lot at numbers from starting pitch.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. On the ground to third. And this goes right through him. And how about that to start a game?
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
Fellas, these Twins, as they take the field this afternoon.
I just realized I was probably muted for the last God knows how long. So if I was, as you can see, we obviously won that game 8-2. Shit. I want to know how. I have no idea if I was muted. Hang on, I gotta figure this out. Bro, if I was muted, that's a huge ass P. Hang on, just one moment, please.